In this video, I'm going to talk about setting up a new document in Photoshop. So for our project 3, the directions say 5 by 5 inch squares. So in Photoshop, I'm going to do File, New, and I'm going to change the width and height to 5 inches, and I'm going to change the resolution to 200. So as a quick review of the resolution numbers, 72 is fine for screens, things on the internet, anything that's only going to be displayed on a screen. If we were going to have this commercially printed, we would want to be about 300, or sometimes even a little bit more, depending on the process and the printer. We're going to go with 200. So this will let us still get a good print off of an office printer, inkjet, or laser. But we won't have to have the super high res and big files of a commercial print ready job. I can leave everything else how it is. I'm not going to check artboards. I'll leave the color and all of these other settings the same. And we'll click Create. So here we've got our blank canvas ready to go. And I can bring in pieces from there. So I've been working in these other tabs to cut out my pieces from their backgrounds. So I can switch to the Move tool. Make sure I've got the layer I want selected if you have multiple layers in a document. I'm going to click and hold on that object, drag it to the new tab, come down into the page area, and then release my mouse and I'll drop in a copy of that object. Now the first thing I want to do is right-click on the layer of the object I just dropped in, but you need to right-click where there isn't a thumbnail. So I'm just going to go over here underneath the eye. So I'm going to go over here underneath the name. I'm going to right-click and choose Convert to Smart Object. So if you were getting a menu like this, or like this, then you are not in the right area of the layer to be right-clicking to get the right menu. So now I've got this, it's in a smart object. It won't lose any of its resolution if I make it larger and smaller. And then I will go to my next object, got the Move tool, click and hold, drag and hover over the tab, come into my new document and drop, and right click on that layer over here and convert that to a smart object. And from this document, I have several pieces. And I'm going to take this one here. So again, Move tool, click and drag, hover, come in the new document and release. Right click on that and create my smart object. So now I'm ready to move these around, use Command or Control T to transform. Because I've made these smart objects, they won't lose any resolution. And I won't have to worry about them getting blurry if I make them smaller and then make them larger again. So from here I can arrange my composition. I can choose adjustment layers. I can experiment with blending modes. And I could experiment with the filter gallery. And of course the last thing we need to do is do a file save. And I'm going to save this as a PSD document that will keep all my layers intact. When I'm ready to turn this in, I don't want to turn in PSD files for things like rough critiques. I want to make JPEGs so that they're smaller files, quicker to upload, easier to look at. To make a JPEG, all we have to do is do File, Save As, and change our format to JPEG. If this setting is on high somewhere, that'll be plenty for our purposes. For the finals, however, I will have you turn in a PSD so I can see all of your layers and your working, as well as a JPEG so that we have something quick to look at for the critiques.